And we're back here with Randy Travis and his wife, Mary Davis. How are you? Or is
Fine.
your last name Travis now?
It's Travis, yes.
Ah, it's a good name to get. It's a, and you know, Randy's, what was his, your real name was Treywick, huh?
Right. Yeah, it
And
was.
I was very impressed with the fact that how you came up with Randy Travis was from the Treywick. You kept your initials at least.
Yes, kept the initials. Martha Sharp, actually from Warner, said that she had a dream in the middle of the night. She was trying to think of a good stage name for him because she's the one that signed him with Warner.
Uh,
Against all odds, after all the other labels had turned him down, including Warner. But she said, "No, he's just what I need." And she's so precious. She passed away last year, so but she always said, in the middle of the night, I woke up. She said, "Travis, Randy Travis, it has such a great ring," and she said,
and I love the fact that it's two first names. It's
"Yeah,
Travis
yeah,
and Randy.
yes." And there's a lot of kids that we run into across the country. They say, "My mama named me Travis because of you." So a lot of them do have that first name now.
Oh, that's funny. And the last time you played for me, he played at the Libby Bowl, right? Or when did we? Was it the Canyon Club the last time you played? And I don't remember because he played the Rose too. So it's always amazing being in all these venues. I think about like over my lifetime how many different venues I've booked, and people go, "What venues do you operate?" And I can't tell them, depending on what the talent is and depending on what I can get my hands on, because the whole music industry has changed. And Randy and I are the same age, so we see that like the world has changed, and we haven't. And we were talking about from previous that our generation were a bunch of drunks. And thank God for that. You know that? Because I think I make my entire business model on I book Randy Travis. You drink your 2.37 drinks at $13.83 each. And that's how I make money. But nowadays, these young bands, like I have a night on Wednesday nights where I'll do 700 people and they'll ring maybe you know, $10 a person. That's
Uh-huh.
the most that you could ever make. And people don't understand when I first did the House of Blues, that was the first time we took these juke joints and we put multi-million-dollar sound systems and light shows in these juke joints because like where Randy like at the Saban, they have an LED wall permanently mounted behind them now. And that was so because I think about when I started this in 1981,
Uh,
we were pushing picnic tables together and the bands were playing on top of picnic tables.
no way.
Yeah. Did people forget that when you first started, Randy, there was no, it didn't have the concert routing that we did. Like you made your money from the record label, they paid you. If you toured, it was supported by your record label. Because when I first opened House of Blues, people forget that my number one client was the record labels. They would buy like half the tickets. It was
Un-
just like the casino days.
Unbelievable.
So
We had a House of Blues here in Dallas.
you did. You still have it. Don't you have one in
Yep.
Houston now too?
I don't know about the one in Houston. I do know the one in Dallas is still there though.
Well, the funniest thing is
Yeah.
I was there, I did all the planning,
Yeah.
and I don't mean to be pompous, but I am. Um, but the day second I left, they didn't open one more. Like
Serious.
all of the stuff I had in plans, they finished, and they did not have the capacity to pick another one by themselves.
Oh,
And
that's too bad
and
because it's a fun place.
a lot of people don't understand. I tried to buy the House of Blues name back because I really believed in it, because I believe that this is like you going to see Randy Travis for me is cathartic because Randy has been through so much,
Yeah.
and anybody who sees him has to say, this guy is amazing. And look at us. You're 66 years old and you're the forefront of the AI movement in the music industry.
Yeah, well, don't ever put anything past the old folks, you know.
Yeah. Well,
We're still
the
here.
crazy thing is the 2013 is when you had your medical issues. So, but I heard that night you went on stage in a wheelchair. Is that true? You
That night,
did.
Yeah.
That's
what
crazy. So
night?
you had a stroke and then you went on stage that night in a wheelchair.
No, he didn't.
Well, that's what it says all over the internet.
Where does it say that?
Yeah, on his Wikipedia page, I think.
Oh my gosh. No, we were in the hospital for 5.5 months.
Oh, really? And
Yeah,
was
we
that
were
before he knew what happened to him? Because it's like when I had my gallbladder and my appendix issue, and they were gangrenous, and I
yeah.
went to the doctor. I went in because I thought I was being such a wimp. And I went in, I don't feel right. And they go, oh my God, and rushed me to the hospital and the operation. But that's what I think that Randy's the same way. He probably didn't believe he was having a stroke.
Well, he had the viral cardiomyopathy. That's what started the whole thing. He was shooting a movie down in Louisiana,
Yeah.
and the cardiologist figured that that's probably where he picked up the virus. He was shooting in an old feed store down there that had been shut down for about 50 years, and so between
Was it a
takes,
movie or a video?
it was a movie. It was a movie called Christmas on the Bayou with Ed
Wow.
Asner, and it was just hot and sweaty and humid. And so between takes, they were turning on these fans, and you could just see all these moles, every dust and stuff in the air. And the doctor said he probably picked up something there that settled in the heart that it caused the virus, the viral
Wow.
cardiomyopathy, shut down the heart. So the lungs filled up. So they thought it was pneumonia, but it wasn't at all. And then when he flatlined, they got him back, and that's when he threw the clot, but he was in a coma. So they didn't figure it out for 3 days that he had had the massive stroke. So
Wow, that
we were
is
there for five and a
crazy.
half months
In the hospital.
in the hospital. Yes.
How many
Mhm.
shows did you have to cancel?
Oh, we had 2 weeks in Canada that we canceled, and a couple on the way up to Canada. And then, of course, the whole fall. That was
So tell
all.
me a little bit about this because I hear Randy still wrote the song, he did that, but he didn't perform it and he used AI in his voice. So maybe I bastardized it, but tell me what the whole story is.
Well, he did not write it, and it was a song that had been kind of shelved at Warner. Ironically, James Dupre is the one, he did cut it, but it was 7 or 8 years earlier. And
He's the one singing with you right now, right?
yes, he's
Yeah.
the one that's on tour with us. And that was all just kind of unintentionally, that all came together. Um, but it was a song that Warner had, and Chris Lacey at Warner, she said, I just think it sounds like Randy. And so she brought it out, and sure enough, they sent about 43, 45 songs of Randy's, just the voice stems, to these two gentlemen in London that had an AI model, and they did their work with it. And then they sent it back to Kyle Lenning, Randy's career long producer. You've probably run into Kyle over the years. But so Kyle and Randy just sat in the studio and tweaked everything and made sure that things were, sounded like Randy, and Kyle did his magic and Randy did his. And then we went in the studio with session players. So it took about 11 months from start to finish to do the one song.
So explain, and I guess the claim to fame is AI, Randy's voice is
Yes,
AI. Yeah.
yes. Yeah, they
So
used the vocal stems from his songs, and they laid it over a vocal bed that James Dupre laid down. And
wow.
I always explain it like a clothesline, and James was the clothesline, and Randy's vocal stems were the clothes that they laid over it. So it's his vocal stems on James's vocal line. It's
Wow. And so
complicated.
tell me what the show is going to be. So the show's going to come out, James Dupree and Randy's original band, right?
Right.
It's his band.
Yeah,
And
it's his band. Some of them I'm sure that you have met, because if you've known Randy and seen some of his shows, his fiddle player's been with him for 41 years, and Steve Henson's been there. No, Dave's been there 45 years. Steve's been there 41 years. Lance Derry's been there almost 30 years. So you'll know some of the guys, but it's his band. And then James sings the songs. We have a video wall that shows a lot of the videos from
over the
uh,
years.
award shows, jokes that he's told. Um, here at the ranch with him on the horses. So it's, to be honest with you, Lance, it's like a biopic of Randy's life
Wow.
because we have the videos showing, then we have the songs, then we have some stories, just input, things like that. So it's not like a regular concert where you just sit there and listen to music. It's storytelling, and it's a biographical sketch of his life, really. So a lot of crowd interaction. We have a
And
good
it's funny because Randy is my dad,
time.
Bradford, is an unbelievable like Randy Travis fan. So and he was Chris Christopherson. So now I always put Chris Christopherson, Randy Travis, and Lyle Lovett together.
Oh,
And so I
that's who
think
your dad loved?
yeah, that was his favorite, and I got to meet all of you guys, and it's amazing to me because I know my dad will be very excited to know that I'm interviewing you today because
Oh,
it's just amazing to me that you know Lyle Lovett and I always got you guys confused. You were the good
uh-huh,
looking one, and he was the one that married to her.
uh-huh.
So
I married her.
but Chris Christopherson used to play for us all the time, and he was always so nice. And I became friends with his wife because his
Yes,
wife basically was managing him and taking care of all the stuff.
she's such a sweet lady. And Chris, what a gem of a guy Chris was.
And he was around forever, and he came and visited my son's restaurant in Park City. Did you ever make it up to Park City?
We did. Yeah, we've
If you
been.
ever go up there, I'd be more than happy to sit down and have dinner with you at my son's restaurant. He got voted the best restaurant in Park City,
Which
Sterling
one
Steak
is
and
it?
Lounge. Sterling Steak and Lounge.
Okay. All right. We'll remember that. That's cool.
Yeah,
Congratulations to him.
it's great because like when I told him, what do you want to do in life? Because after the pandemic, we were kind of all setting our kids up with houses and what they needed. And we had a down payment for a house. And he said, no, no, I want to do a restaurant. And I was like, I would have expected you watching me over the lifetime, you wouldn't want to do this. But believe it or not, the youngest one still in the business and the oldest one still in the business. Everybody else got out.
Well, good for you.
So
Sounds like
did you have any brothers and sisters, Randy?
there's six of them.
Wow. We were
Yes.
talking today to people 15. We had one guy here who's a jazz musician. He has 16 brothers and sisters. I thought I was a lot with five, but
Wow.
16 or how many did you have? Six?
He had six. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's six. There were six. He's lost one brother, but there's still five of them.
How many girls and how many boys?
Two boys, no, two girls and four boys.
That's good because girls are always bossy. So I don't know if all my sisters always thought they knew that they could live their life better than me. And I noticed that with my girls that they have a very strict opinion about how all the boys are living their lives.
Isn't that funny how they all have their ideas about it? But they're all healthy and successful, and that's all that matters.
Well, I'm in the spot now where I just had my third grandkid and I have my fourth on the way. So I am a happy, happy camper.
You
So
are so young looking for that. I'm so
you know
proud
what?
of you.
Thank goodness they have Grecian formula because I can honestly tell you every now and then, like I'll let my beard get really long and I'll shave. Then you really see what the color of your beard is. And then you think, ooh,
Oh,
I would rather, I think life is grand. Just take out all the mirrors. As
yeah.
long as I can't see myself, I still think I'm 40 years old.
Well, that's the way we act. Yes.
I was going to say, Randy still looks as good as he did when he was 50. And I don't know. And the terrible thing is when you say that to people our age, I don't know if that's a compliment anymore because I want to look like I'm 28. I want to feel like I'm 18 again. I don't know
Well,
if that's possible.
you kind of fit the bill there. I think you're doing good.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Have you guys
You got
gone into
that. Huh?
all the people my age or our age now are into these crazy supplements? Have you gotten into them?
Oh, yes, yes, yes. The peptides and the supplements and all that other good stuff.
Ashwagandha and
Ashwagandha, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
The
we're all
kids are
taking that.
talking about it.
There
They're
is
going to be so
nothing
much
that tastes
healthier.
worse than ashwagandha. Have you guys had the ashwagandha?
I have not.
Oh,
No.
it is the worst tasting stuff you've ever had in your life. They've convinced me to take methylene blue. And I think about if I was the parent and I was the child, I would yell at myself. I buy I buy stuff from TikTok and it's supplements. I have no idea who's making it. And yet I feel like with what we just experienced the past 5 to 10 years of our lives, I don't trust anybody anymore. You know what I mean? I don't know if any of this stuff is true or not true. And like, I have trouble. Do you get a vaccine? Did you get a vaccine?
No.
That's the crazy thing is my brain says get a vaccine, but then I'm nervous to get the vaccine because then I find out then when you start doing research is the worst thing you can do.
Yeah, it's
When you
scary as
start,
death.
right, you start researching stuff and you realize this half is saying the other half is liars and they're saying they're lying and everybody's lying. That's what happened. Remember when it was easy, when you had three channels and
Yeah.
whatever the news said was
Yeah.
true, we
Yep.
thought
It was
was true.
fact.
And,
Yeah.
and isn't it better when we're all stupid? Because if we don't know we're being lied to, life is much easier.
Yeah. Information is so gettable now.
So you have a new record out, right? In 2019. I guess I'm new. Is that new? So it's new to me.
Yeah, I guess that's when that was. I think so. Yeah.
So
Um,
so on the new record, were you because you had some of it written beforehand, and how did you do the record, or was it all done through other singers, or how did you do that?
well, the last one that he put out was one that he did. Are you talking
Right.
about the full album?
Yes.
Yes, that was one that he did before the stroke. Um, was it 19 that it was released
Yeah, I was
finally?
gonna. Oh, is that what
That's
it
the
was?
book.
That's what made sense. It was the book in
The book
19.
that came out in 19.
Ah,
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
memoir of music and faith, and what's that say? Caring.
It's forever and ever. Amen. Amen was the name of
Yeah.
it.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
that's
Forever and ever.
cool.
Yeah.
And that basically went over his whole life.
Yes. Yes. That was by Ken Abraham. And it was the autobiography. And we started it before the stroke, finished it after the stroke. And I think it came out, I guess it was 2019 finally. I don't know. There was a lot of things going on right before the stroke. The documentary that we put out, they had shot an hour of documentary material before the stroke. And then, of course, after the stroke, everything was put on a back burner for several years. And then they went back in and did another hour. So the documentary is an
Split
hour and
into two.
45 minutes and it's half and half, some before, some after. And then the book was kind of the same way that Ken Abraham wrote that.
What made you guys decide to go back out on tour? Because I think that's so brave because I was really good friends with BB King. And I
Yeah.
remember sitting with him and him talking to me about his retirement. And I remember saying to him, because he was much like me, if you take work away from me, I don't know if I'm a real person outside of that. So I wonder, like with BB, he said he was going to slow down and the diabetes was getting too much for him. And I told him, I said, my fear is if you stop touring, because to me, BB always had like he was working to the next concert. He was working and he always had purpose. Is that why you're out on tour now, or because
A
it's
lot
very
of
impressive?
no, no, I think you hit the nail on the head there because you the worst thing you can do is sit at home and do nothing. And I've always told Randy, I said, you root, you rot. And so we don't, people will say, well, why don't you just let him stay home and enjoy his final years and everything? Randy doesn't want to stay home. Randy wants to be out there where the music is.
Yeah.
He
Hey,
wants,
Randy, we're going to be around for the next 30 years. We're
that's
not giving up. So,
right.
so
That's
in
right.
final years, I always look at it like this. My grandma lived until she was 99 and 11 months,
Wow.
but the
Ah,
difference is those people they put in these old age homes and it feels like they're just sitting there waiting to die. I don't want to be that way. I'd rather die being a lunatic on something or going
Yeah,
out or on tour because that's what your life is, right? On tour, you like touring.
he does. He loves it. He loves being around the people, loves the music, loves being
I can
around
say
his
that all.
band. We're just, yeah, it just doesn't work to stay home. And if he's here too long, then he's going, let's go, let's go. So it's the natural thing for him to
So
do.
what's your schnauzer's name?
Oh, look at him. Rain,
Lane. Look at him.
rain, rain.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Boy or girl?
it's a
Boy?
boy.
Yeah, look at him. He's a little regal, isn't he? Look at
He
that.
is.
Yeah.
He is. He gets to go to the groomer tomorrow, but yes,
How
he
long have you had him?
well, we stole him. We stole him from our daughter. She had him in Nashville, and she had too much going on. She was getting married, moving. He had a dog. She had another dog. She had a cat. So I just too much going on. So I said, "Well, we'll take him." And so we brought him home with us probably about 3 or 4 years ago.
Really? That's how
And
I
then
got my
once
dog
once they
too.
got settled, she said, "Mom, I'll take him back." I said, "No, you won't."
My daughter, when she was going to SDSU, my wife came up with the idea of getting her a dog that was going to make her be more responsible. And the second, and all the way through college, it worked. But right after college, she's like handed the dog to us. And now, and then my wife goes, "Oh, I'll take care of it." And of course, she handed it to me. And now I look like Randy walking around with the dog all the time. You know, my life is about a little multi poo.
They're adorable, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Luann wanted to ask a question.
Question.
Okay.
Oh, there's a biopic movie coming out this year, Forever and Ever. Am I reading that correctly?
A
Um,
biopic movie forever and ever.
yeah, I don't know that they picked a title. They have the script written, and I think they're right now they're looking for placement of it.
Yeah.
And so we're not sure what they were talking about filming the end of this year. So hopefully that will happen. We do have another album coming out at the end. Well, it's this fall of music from the vault and actually Randy's voice. So it's songs that he cut, but they didn't have room on the album. So we
I
have
want to
them.
know this. Randy, I've never seen you do one of your albums. Have you done a Christmas album?
He did a Christmas album,
He
yes.
did.
He did 2 or 3 of those, yeah.
You guys
Christmas.
did a Christmas single, right? Where My Heart Is?
Yeah, I
Oh,
was going to
yes,
say.
yes.
Yeah.
We did release that this past year. Where my
We
heart
got to
is.
make sure we do a country Christmas. That
That'd
would
be
be
great.
fun. You know, because I think about like all these things and what people like to go out and do. And where are you guys living now?
We live in Tioga, Texas. It's
Yeah.
far north. It's about an hour north of Dallas.
Wow. And Texas, the only thing I can't stand about Texas is you guys got Palos Verde beetles and mosquitoes. And the mosquitoes, if there's one mosquito within 4 miles, it finds me.
It finds you. It's because you're so sweet.
Yeah, I bet that's
They
what
don't
and
bother
the
me.
and the crazy thing is my wife, they don't bother either. She'll sit there and I'll be running around like swearing and I got welts all over my body and I'm the only person they bite. I'm the only person who lives in Southern California and I get bit by mosquitoes. Somehow they don't exist, but I get bitten by them.
They find you.
Yeah.
So when is the show?
It is coming up in May.
In May, we have this coming up. Wow.
Wait,
Are
April
you on tour?
24th.
Yeah.
No, we're there April 24th.
April
Oh, April
24th.
24th. Oh, I'm sorry, I was confused.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's the only weird thing. I only booked one venue. Now we book like 13.
Ah,
And it's funny because I only started doing that to combat Live Nation and AEG. You know, because in your case, it's easier dealing with you guys because you understand where your clientele, your fan base, you understand.
right,
Where
right.
when you get to financial people, they don't understand. Like they don't understand that like a Randy Travis would do X in this venue. And
Right.
if I take you somewhere else, you wouldn't do as well. And a lot of people don't understand that when they think everything is a guarantee. Like Randy Travis is worth 17,840 tickets. So it's not, that's not what it is. What's going on that day? Who else is performing? And believe it or not, it affects if literally someone was in 2 weeks before, you're going to
Mhm.
get that much less ticketing. And it has become such an artwork And then I see Live Nation AG, they don't have to be artists because they just are bullies and they just block by. But that's why your agent works for you better because he's going to pick the best location for you in each venue. And that's why I think, and that's why I'm excited because we've played Randy for years, and now we get the culmination and we get to see where we go because this is what it is. We're the same age. So I agree, and as he gets older, I get older, and it looks fairly normal. You look great to me, Randy, and you can say the same thing for me. But the point is it's that to me, I've had people that have gone to 4 or 5 of your shows. So this is just the finishing of that. And we want to have fun. We're done. You know what I mean? We're done. We want to have fun. And that's what God put us on this earth to have fun.
That's right.
And when we stop having fun, then you don't need to be here anymore.
I was going to say that we quit doing it.
Yeah, because you know what? My job is not to make people miserable. My job is to be fun.
That's right.
And that's what I want.
And that's what the show is. It's fun.
And I think it's an answer to, and it's all of his music. And I think that people, I guarantee they're going to be blown away with this show. And thank you so much for coming on. And Mary, thank you. And thank you for taking care of Randy. Keep him around forever because as long as he's around, I'm around.
You're so sweet. It's an honor.
And thank you so much.
Take care of him. And we're all 59 babies, so we all understand this.
Yeah. And that's great. And thank you so much. And
are we gonna get to see you there?
Yeah, I will come in and say hi to you. Well, maybe I'll cook you food. What's your favorite thing to eat?
Oh, Randy, well, it all changed after the stroke.
Right.
Before the stroke, he loved his hot fudge sundaes, and he liked spicy food. And now he won't touch either one of them. He won't touch sweets, and he won't touch anything spicy.
Oh, isn't that funny?
I use vegetables and chicken.
You know what? That's the best thing for you. What about a little Wagyu prime rib? Would you want one of those? You eating steak at all?
Oh yeah, he eats steak. He does.
There's a place around us called Brown's, and it's amazing. I'll go there. But I'm getting told to wrap it up, and it was great seeing you. We can't wait till you come out and perform. And anytime you want to do anything, you give me a call. You always have a spot with us.
You are so sweet. Thank you so. Are you gonna be okay, honey? We'll make it there, I promise.
He's getting all choked up because he doesn't want to get off the phone with me.
Thank you so much, Lance. We can't wait to see you.
Thank you for tuning in to Where Music Meets the Soul, guys.
And it's called Sabin, right? Sabin Theater?
Are we off? Can I tell them something?
We're off. Yeah.
We can't even talk to them on the Zoom.
Can you guys hear me?
We're here. We can hear you.
Oh, okay.
Randy, I'm a big fan, and I just have to share 2 things with you that I shared with Allison yesterday. Back when you had your first record out and were nominated for Best New Artist at the ACMs out here at Knott's Berry Farm, my husband and I met you in a fire escape at the hotel at the Warner Brothers party, you and Carl Perkins. And it was a memory that I will always cherish. So I just wanted to mention that. And then on a more other personal note, I just saw the video yesterday for Horses in Heaven for the first time. I grew up riding horses with my dad, and he passed away 2 weeks ago. And I cannot tell you how much that video meant to me when I watched it yesterday. And I just want to say thank you.
Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you. Thank you for that.
Thank you. And Randy, you mean a lot to all of us. And you're basically the soundtrack of our lives. And thank you.
Thank you.
That's so precious. Thank you, Lance.
Thanks.
Got me all teared up now.
We always do. Luann and I cry all the time. We're the biggest babies known to mankind.
I love it. Well, we can't wait to see y'all.
Yeah. And I'll make sure I cook you something really good.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank y'all so much.
Bye.